Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Darrell Brooks saga. I'm Jester, and today we're gonna finish off with what's left of day 7. Uh, this has been a period, I think it's just been the worst day for him because this is actually people recognizing him to being the you, the him, the Darrell Brooks. So everyone recognizing that it was him that was running after the parade. So we're gonna continue with the last witness, I think. But first, I want to thank you all. We're so close to 800 subscribers, and I want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. This really been a really wide ride. I really enjoy making these videos for you guys and reading all your comments, seeing all the likes, seeing. So if you wanna support the channel, please subscribe, and I'll really appreciate it. One more thing before, and I have Rory here with me. Look at there. Look at this pretty girl. Look at her. You don't want to turn next to the camera? You want to say hi? Um, one of the things that I want to thank you, speaking of support, is someone sent a super chat in one of the videos, or super thanks. I don't know how that works. Something on YouTube that you can send some support money. I don't know how to say it. That's not really required. I don't make these videos for money, but if any of you guys wanna support the stream in that way, I'll appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. So I don't know if you guys want me to shout out the super thanks or whatever, but let me know in the comments if you feel like that's something that I should do. All right, let's get right into the video.
You may be excused. I'm going to excuse the jury momentarily to take up a legal issue with the parties, and hopefully we'll...
Hey, legal issues. Yes, he's so excited about it.
You may make an offer of proof, sir, as it relates to why or what questions and what information you believe this officer would provide about news reports that he's seen.
So the offer of proof would just be to that one question?
Yes, because that's what you asked before.
Will the question be?
The question was, would have been, if I was allowed to finish it, had he seen any news reports directly connected to the incident?
Right.
But what's the relevance?
The same thing that many other witnesses have been asked, and it was never sustained then. It was never even objected to. So it was the same. It was essentially
Let's focus
one of the
on
same
the
questions.
specific objection that was posed and my
And what was the grounds for
willingness
it?
to give you an opportunity to provide the court with an offer of proof. This was what relevance would this particular witness seeing news reports have to his testimony?
The same thing that any other witness that was asked the same question.
Which would be what? You have to be specific, sir.
I
I'm not
was
gonna
specific.
assume I understand what you are saying.
Have they saw any reports related to the incident? That's the same question.
Well, I'm sorry to cut him off. I like cutting him off. I don't care about his feelings. But he is punching the table. He's doing the thing with the little pen. It's not even a pen. I don't know. Tell me in the comments what is the thing that he uses to write. But he does that with the table too. I don't know why.
Question that's been asked by numerous
Well, there would be a
witnesses.
follow-up to that. So how is it relevant to this witness's testimony?
It's relevant to anyone who gets on the stand's testimony.
What's the legal basis you
What
believe
is
it's
it?
relevant to his testimony, sir?
It obviously forms an opinion.
About what?
Again, I'm not... You need to explain to me, sir, the legal basis why you believe I should allow that witness to be asked that question and then any follow-up based on his response.
What would have been the follow-up?
Only you know.
It would
I'm
have
asking
got
you,
asked
sir.
and it
question.
would
You're
have got
the one
answered.
who's the proponent of this particular testimony and this questioning and the evidence. So explain to me your legal basis for why you believe it's relevant to ask, or any other reason, any legal basis you believe it's that I should allow that question to be asked.
I don't understand how you want me to answer that. I've stated the reason why I asked the question.
No, you stated it's obvious, but it's not obvious to me, so I'm asking you to explain it.
I also stated that
He's so
I just
frustrated.
clearly
a lot of-
stated,
Yeah.
clearly, that it goes towards biasness.
I'm
That
sorry, it
would be
goes to
relevant.
what? Wait.
Biasness. Like he just with a straight face. He's mad. He's trying to make a point, and then he busts out the biasedness.
It goes to what?
Biased.
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 Bias. B-I-A-S. Not. There's no T at the end.
Good.
Bias.
Good for you, Jess.
I want to make sure.
I love that she did that. That's one of my. I love that she did that to him. Like, learn, my guy, learn. There's no T at the end.
I understand your
now it's the
reasoning
problem with
correctly,
how to
sir.
correct
So
something.
it's
How-
you're
now
saying it
something.
goes to bias. How does it go to bias of this witness, sir?
How would it not go to if you see something in the news?
It's not a proper legal argument,
I
sir.
love that legal argument. What is the basis? Why is it not?
Okay, well, I don't know how you want me to answer
How
that.
would what he saw subsequent to his investigation impact either what he did beforehand or his testimony here? You have to make an offer of proof as to that. Without that, I'm not going to allow it.
You didn't allow it anyway, so what do it matter at this point?
I'm giving you the opportunity. It's called an offer of proof. I said
know
I
what-
would recall the
I'm well
witness
aware-
if I
I'm well aware
determine.
what an offer of proof is.
Okay.
Another thing that he's well aware, just like hearsay.
I'm well aware.
So make your offer of proof.
I don't need to.
I don't
it's
need
clear.
to.
It's very clear. I don't see anything funny either.
It's not funny, sir. It's just
It
it's
is.
a circular argument. You're
I
telling me
wasn't
that
referring
it's
that to
clear.
you. I wasn't referring that to you. The person that it was referred to know who they are.
Well, let's stay on task, please. So
I'm trying to.
you're
but it's
claiming
hard.
it goes to bias,
May I
but
say
in
this?
what
May I say
way?
this for the record, Your Honor? It's hard to stay on task when it seems like the prosecution can ask essentially anything they want to ask.
Mr. Brooks,
But then when I object-
I had
Wait,
an
wait.
objection before. Well, here's the thing: you want to go off target, and you want
It's
to
not
bring
off
up
target.
things from the past. I can't explain to you why sometimes the state has an objection and other times they don't. But
That's not what I asked.
when an objection has been made, it is my obligation to rule on it. And so there was an objection.
I'm aware of that, Your Honor. But I'm also aware of the fact, and it's clear that I object quite often in every
Quite often, my guy, you object to every single question. It's annoying.
single time I object is just thrown to the side every single
Because
time.
it's
I would
nonsense.
disagree with that characterization, sir.
And why
I
would
make
you
my
disagree with
rulings
that?
in this
Why would
case
you disagree
based.
with that?
I'm like
Can
an
you point out one
umpire.
time?
I'm like an umpire in a baseball game, sir. I call and see the legal objections as I see them. That is my role, and that is what I do. And
Are you kidding me?
that's
Go side.
exactly what I do. I'm an
Go
umpire,
side.
sir.
Oh, he did a. You
I
didn't say
am a
face.
referee in this trial.
If you're the
And
umpire
let me
with
finish.
Okay.
Let me finish,
Okay.
Mr. Brooks.
I
okay?
apologize. I'm letting
So,
you finish.
from my perspective, okay, you make a number of objections.
A lot.
I rule on them, and you disagree with them. But that doesn't mean I'm casting things aside. I'm making a call based on the rules of evidence, which once again, I'll point out, I gave you, sir, near the beginning of this trial, so that you would have a better understanding of what those rules are. If you choose not to read them, that's fine. But you cannot then claim that there is somehow foul play because you haven't read them and you don't understand what they are. Your ignorance of the law is not a defense for any of this.
Thank you. Thank you for saying
Okay?
that.
And you getting frustrated with me because you don't understand that, I mean, it's just what it is. But I'm calling these legal shots as I see them. And you want to ask this witness who had limited involvement regarding a part of an investigation related to that vehicle. I don't see the relevance, even to bias,
Who is Tobias?
for which I will allow him to answer that. You haven't given me a legal or factual reason to overrule the objection and to bring the witness back on the stand and to question him about his viewing of any news reports.
Good.
So with that, We are going to take a very short break. The jury's been out for a little bit, but I recognize it's 3:25. It will be a good opportunity for a comfort break, and when we come back on, the state should be prepared to call the next witness.
Can I release at least rebuttal to what you just said, since you
I
asked
don't
me
need a
not to?
rebuttal, sir. You may not agree with me, but I've made
It's not
my
about agreeing.
record.
You just told me not to interrupt you, and I didn't.
Yeah.
So I at
Stop
least
it.
deserve the chance to put on the record a
What
rebuttal.
would you
What?
like to put on the record as it relates to the specific issue for which I was giving you the opportunity to be heard? Not anything else, not subject matter jurisdiction, not
Now you
whether
said
the
that.
state's
I
doing
didn't
other
even
things.
bring that up,
I'm
Your Honor.
only asking you to address the offer of proof.
No,
if
I
you
wanna-
have something,
No.
go ahead.
I wanna-
only as it relates
I
to
want to
that.
address your position because you said you're like the umpire, right?
Well,
Why
I'm
does
not
that
getting-
matter?
Okay, go ahead, sir. I'm not sure why you need to respond to
Because-
that.
Because it needs to be on the record. If you're the umpire, that means you're the referee.
Yeah. So
That's what I'm doing here
when,
today, sir.
and when you're not reffing fair if the jury's not allowed to hear things that's important for them to know.
according
I
to you-
respectfully disagree, sir. Again, just because you believe the law means you have a right to question all these witnesses about who the plaintiff is and about subject matter jurisdiction doesn't
I didn't question
make it
anybody
so.
about that.
Okay?
That was,
it doesn't
that was
make
between
it
you
so.
and I. That didn't have nothing to do with a witness.
doesn't matter. Still relevant.
I've
You
never
wanna
once
question
questioned a
these
witness
witnesses,
about subject
sir,
matter
about
jurisdiction.
whether they are aware of complaints. And the funny thing is, sir, I sometimes let that question be answered for reasons that are completely different, I believe, than why you want them in. I am not going to explain that
you
because I don't
can't
have
say
to explain
why.
that.
What's my reason for asking it?
Well, I believe you've made it very clear, sir. So here's
Yes,
the bottom
I
line.
don't.
One of my
Because
roles
you're
is to be the umpire.
unaware.
Then you got to be
All right.
fair, Your Honor. You're a public servant.
I am fair, and I'm
No,
going
you're
to follow
not.
the
You're not
rules
being
of
fair.
evidence,
Your
sir.
Honor,
that
this is
doesn't
why I
mean
say that.
unfettered questioning
This is
of
why I say that.
witnesses that are not relevant or that call for hearsay or for a variety of other reasons that are speculative. There's a whole host of reasons in the rules of evidence, sir, that require me to make those determinations.
You're not being
I
fair.
respect
You're not
that
being
you
fair,
might
though.
not think it's always fair, but
It's
I
not.
disagree with the characterization. I think it has more to do with your lack of understanding of the rules of evidence and the rules of procedure, which you knowingly and freely and voluntarily and deliberately made a choice to represent yourself. And
And
as
you keep
I
saying
warned
that
you at
because
that
it sounds
time,
good
sir,
on the
you did
record,
that
but
at
it's
your
not.
peril.
It's not accurate. You accepted when you gave me the paperwork, Your Honor. I
I'm
gave
not-
it back to
I'm
you.
not going in. I didn't say that, sir, so we can go back and rehash all of those things.
But you know you accepted
All right.
the way that I gave you the paperwork back. So once
And I
you
made
accept
findings
that,
on the record, which I will stand by, sir. So
and I'm not,
with that,
I'm not
we're gonna
arguing.
take,
I'm
we're
not
gonna take a
arguing your
break.
findings.
I
I'm
need
not
a comfort
arguing
break.
the findings,
I'm sure
Your
you
Honor.
need a comfort break. I'm sure everyone else in this courtroom needs a comfort break.
We do.
When we come back out, we are going to continue with
That's
testimony.
fine, but it has to
Thank
be
you.
fair. You
I'm
have
off
to
the
be
record.
fair.
One more witness today.
I would like to get through one more
You got
witness
it.
today.
You got
Thank
it. You got to
We're
call
off
it
the
fair.
record, sir.
You got.
All right, I'm gonna take this comfort break to make a little parenthesis. Is that I think that at this point, he's becoming desperate. Like, we're at halfway through we are 1 week in to the trial, and he sees that nothing at all that he's doing works. Nothing. So I think that at this point the desperation is setting in, and he's starting to be more aggressive. He's starting to feel like he needs to be shouty. He needs to be conflictive against the judge, way more than before. Like he was doing it before, but I think it's gonna start ramping up from here. All right, back to.
I want to bring to the party's attention that the court just now issued a decision and order in this case. I've signed it. Madam Clerk is pulling it through, and I will provide the parties with a written copy here in court. It addresses the matter of subject matter jurisdiction.
Hey, we finally did it. We're finally at the point where he gets the final decision about subject matter jurisdiction. Like, he's been asking for it this whole time. He wants to know about it. Here we go. Let's see how he handles what he wants, because he wanted this. He wanted to address it. He wanted to know.
Address it.
Now
No,
let's
I've
see.
issued an order. I'm going to give it to you. That's why I'm addressing it. You can review it later, but there's a written decision now denying your motion to dismiss.
So is that including verified proof that you have subject matter jurisdiction?
She never said that.
Because it has yet to be verified or proven.
Mr. Brooks, you keep making that statement, but it's a misstatement of the requirements in the law.
So it doesn't have to be
You are
proven?
going to get
She just hit him with the. You keep saying that word. That word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
a written decision. That's how I'm addressing this. And then I'm going to have the jury brought out and just providing courtesy copies to the parties as I had an opportunity to finalize that over the break.
I accept for value and return for value this document.
Thank you for noting that. All right, bring the jury out.
Is that verified proof that you have subject matter jurisdiction?
The decision and order speaks for itself, sir.
Is it verified proof that you have it?
Sir, I believe it answers your questions.
I don't believe so.
Unequivocally.
I don't believe so.
There's no verified proof proven yet.
Yeah, it's the same.
Verified proving.
There's no verified proof if we're in common law or admiralty law. What court is this?
She already
Sir,
addressed
I
that
believe
on
your
your
answers will be
50-minute
in
rant.
that decision and order.
I don't believe so.
Well, have you read it yet?
I don't have to.
Wow.
I accept.
Okay, so he asked for an answer. She gave him the answer, and he's like, "I'm not gonna read it."
For value and return for value. So
All right, they're in there, sir. It's a final order for
verified
purposes
proof
of
is in
appeal.
there. Verified proof
So
is in
if
there.
you'd like to challenge that, you can take that up with the appellate courts.
Verified proof is in
All
there.
rise.
Because I don't think it is.
His button is still. Okay, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. It's not gonna break me.
not in there either. No one has a claim.
Were you home at 338 Maple in the upper unit on the afternoon of that day, the 21st?
Yes.
Do you recall at some point hearing a noise or something that was out of place outside of your window?
Yeah. When I was sitting down, I heard like a big scratch, sort of, kind of like just a rough scratch of either metal or whatever. I was able to see that there was a vehicle that I had never recognized. And as soon as I looked over, I was able to see just somebody being able to get just jump over the hood of the car, kind of dash away. And when I saw the car, I just saw that it was really beat up.
When you looked out your second story window at the driveway and you saw the vehicle, at that time, could you see whether there was any damage to the vehicle?
Yeah.
Answered that already.
Overruled.
Said it was
You may
beat up.
answer.
He's gonna say, take a little pride to say, I like his jacket. Like, I like that. Like this jacket.
Was this person directly below you in your vantage point, or was it off to the side?
It was more.
Relevancy.
Overruled. He may answer.
It was more towards the side.
Did you
Yeah.
see what direction that person went after they jumped over the hood of the SUV?
They just went left, from my point of view.
So would that have been toward or away from Maple?
Objection,
that would've
being the
been-
witness.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
It was towards Maple Avenue. When I contacted the neighbors, one of them actually told me that they'll ask around. He came back to me. He said, that's nobody's car. They all came out. We were all kind of surrounding it, and we were still confused as to why the car was there. And at that same time, when we were looking at the damage of the vehicle, people were leaving downtown Waukesha from Maple Avenue from the library going the other way. And some of them were running, some of them looked scared.
And what direction were they running?
They were heading towards sort of the restaurant La Estacion.
Would that be running north or
Hey,
running
la
south?
estación.
I guess that would be north.
Can we please display for the witness only exhibit number 130?
Go ahead.
Objection. What's the relevancy?
Well, I'm going to ask you to show the witness the map does not have the annotations. So I'll sustain your objection.
He's like, wow.
Do you want to tell me when
Something.
to turn it back on?
Sure.
Objection. What's being looked up that's not already in the exhibit? Look like something was being looked up.
I can't answer that question. I don't know.
Is it
They're
exhibit? Is it?
looking for an, can
I guess my objection would be: is there an exhibit being shown, or is there being
There's
something
nothing shown to the witness right now. It's off.
Something popped up on the screen to look like they was trying to Google something, and then now my screen is off now.
So,
So that wouldn't be an exhibit.
I didn't see anything, so we can take that up later if need be, but let's keep going with the questioning of the witness, and we can deal with that later, outside the presence of the jury.
Just for the record, I know it's 140 exhibits, so it shouldn't be no more than that. Can't create exhibits right now.
Well,
Yes,
we
you
will
can.
get to any legal issues later, so the state can continue, please.
I'll try to clear this up without any more exhibits for Mr. Brooks. When you are standing in your driveway facing Maple Avenue, if you wanted to go to downtown Waukesha, would you go left or right?
Left.
Objection. That was asked and answered. He asked north or south, and he already answered that question.
This question has not been asked or answered, so your objection is overruled. The witness may answer.
And I'm sorry, you can answer that again.
It was left.
The people who were running past your house on Maple, were they running towards downtown or were they running towards La Estacion?
Towards La
Objection.
Estacion.
Victoria, was there an objection?
Asked and answered.
It was clarification, so his answer may stand. The objection is overruled.
Okay. Now, at the time that you were standing around the SUV with those other people, how much time had gone past between that time and the time that you first heard the noise and looked out your window upstairs?
Objection. Relevancy.
Overruled.
I would say a little bit of time passed by before I went downstairs.
Okay. Can we please show for everyone exhibit number 65, a video which has previously been received?
Go ahead.
Can you circle your house for us?
Right here.
oh, crossword right from here. Hey, that's Elvis.
Now I'm going to ask Ms. Gussie to pull up the Zoom tool and
Elvis
we can play
cameo.
here from the beginning.
Objection. What's the relevancy?
Overruled. It's been admitted already. He testified his house is in it.
Pause. Did you see on the video there a figure emerging from your driveway?
Yeah.
Could you circle that figure for us?
Right here. And then
thank you.
right there as well. Where, yeah.
And what's the second thing you circled?
Just a vehicle.
Okay, let's clear those two circles, please. Does that figure, understanding the limitations of how far away this camera is, does that figure appear to be consistent with the figure you saw hopping over the hood of the SUV?
Objection. Speculative.
What?
And pause. Based on what you've seen so far in this exhibit, does that figure appear to be traveling in a path consistent with what you remember?
Yeah.
Objection. Hearsay. You say you can't see the street from the window.
What? How do you
Oh.
know?
Overruled.
What are we looking at here?
To the left, you can see a little bit of a kind of like a stump, a log. I recognize those logs from the backyard of my neighbor's house, and it was sort of dragged all the way to our driveway as well.
Objection. What's the relevancy of all these photos?
You're establishing the scene.
Your objection to relevance is noted. It's overruled.
You recognize
Objection.
what we're looking at here in exhibit? I'm sorry, there's an objection.
Where's the relevancy of this? Where we're looking at?
Your objection is noted. It's overruled.
Do exhibits 67 through 73 accurately portray your driveway, your backyard, and your neighbor's backyard as they looked the night of November 21st?
Yeah.
I move exhibits 67 through 73 into evidence and request permission to publish.
Objection. No relevancy.
It's overruled.
They already
The red
established
SUV we've
the
been talking about, correct?
Yeah.
Let's take a look at 68, please.
Wow.
This is just a close-up view of that red SUV.
Yeah.
Objection. Leading.
So much destruction.
Sustained as to the form of the question.
What is this?
It is the red SUV in my driveway, all beat up.
And you referenced a stump earlier when you were describing this photograph. Can you point that out for us? Maybe circle it for us?
Objection. Relevancy as to a stump. What does that have to do with
He's getting to it.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
That stump of log would be sort of on that part of that picture.
Can we please clear that, Madam Clerk? Was that stump in that position in your driveway before you saw this red SUV?
No.
Objection. Relevancy.
Overruled. It's relevant. The witness may answer.
No.
Do you know if any of those three vehicles sustained damage on November 21st?
Objection. Hearsay.
Asking if he knows.
Overruled.
There's a black SUV to the right of that brown sedan. That vehicle did have a little bit of a sort of some damage.
Objection. What's the relevancy of this?
The exhibits have been received.
The relevancy, Mr. Brooks, is that that's where you passed the car by. So it's relevant to this case.
Statement, question the witness on them.
What direction have we moved from the last picture to this picture?
We moved a little bit more towards the left, just getting a better angle of the back side of the house.
But now we're facing to the right.
Yeah, but
Objection,
now we're
leading.
facing right.
Exhibit 71, please. Is that the same street light we saw in Exhibit 70?
Objection. Answered that already. Same street light, same question, basically.
Different picture.
Different
Your
picture.
Objections noted. It's overruled. The witness may answer.
It is.
Do you see an orange cone in this photograph?
Objection. Relevancy.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
I do.
What, if anything, do you see in the immediate vicinity of that orange cone?
Objection. Relevancy.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
Some of those stumps of logs that I mentioned before.
Can we zoom in on the middle of this photograph, please? Do you recognize an object within a few inches of that cone?
Objection.
Yeah.
Speculation.
Not a
Overruled. The witness
speculation.
may
You
answer.
can see
I
it.
can see what it is, but I don't personally recognize it.
When you say you don't personally recognize it, what do you mean?
Leading.
I've-
Objection. Leading.
Overruled. He may answer.
It looks to be like a beanie, but I've never really seen it. Our family doesn't own it.
Is this what these stumps looked like earlier in the day on November 21st, before you saw the red SUV?
Objection. Relevancy.
Overruled.
They do not. They were sort of a little bit more together because they were like a seating area for my neighbors.
He's falling asleep.
To your recollection, was that car parked in your neighbor's backyard before you saw the red SUV on November 21st?
Objection. Speculation.
Overruled.
No.
So the locks took out the muffler. That face. I love that he's always so attentive to what they are doing.
And we now, so just for the witness, exhibit 143.
Their collection of or sort of their parked vehicles as well.
And where in the vehicle do you see damage? The front, the back, both, or neither?
Leading.
on
Objection.
Overruled.
Move exhibits 143, 144, and 145 into evidence and ask to publish.
Objection.
Move it.
Relevancy to this matter.
All right. The exhibits are received.
This is the vehicle you described?
Yeah.
This is the front of that same vehicle?
Objection. Relevancy to this matter.
Overruled. The
It's
exhibits
relevant.
have
You
been
hit them.
received.
This is the front part of the vehicle, driver's side still.
And this is the same, this Infinity we see in this photograph, that's the same vehicle we saw in the last two photographs.
Objection. Leading.
Overruled. You may answer.
It is, yes.
Prospect is where in relation to the photographer?
Objection. Relevancy.
Overruled.
Prospect is to the back of the photographer.
So if you were to drive a vehicle between that porch and that Infinity vehicle, straight through that alley that we're looking at right now, you would be driving toward or away from your house?
Objection. Hearsay.
Overruled.
Objection. Speculation.
Nope.
Overruled.
You'd be heading towards our backyard, our driveway, or the backside of our driveway.
Here we go.
So seeing the damage to the SUV that was parked in your driveway, it would be fair to say that the hood was pretty jacked up. Would that be fair to say?
Jacked up.
Yeah.
does that mean?
If we're talking about the red
Yeah.
SUV,
The vehicle in your driveway.
The red SUV.
There's multiple vehicles in my driveway.
The one that's specifically in your driveway.
Why doesn't he want to say the red SUV? That's kind of odd. Huh.
68. Exhibit 68.
We can put that up.
Where is it? 68.
You see on your screen, Mr. Brooks?
Yeah,
Is that the
yes.
one you want him to talk about?
Yes.
Go
yes,
ahead.
yes.
68 is published.
And for the record, I do not identify by that name or consent to being called.
You already said yes when he talked to you.
It's fair to say that hood is pretty beat up.
You can say, yeah.
And you said you observed the driver of that vehicle jump over the hood.
Ah, semantics.
I wouldn't say necessarily jump over the hood.
Mr. Semantics.
Like I said, sort of jumping over the hood. You can say like kind of like leaving, kind of going, sort of. It's a little bit hard to explain, but
Yeah, it's an
not
expression.
not necessarily sliding over the hood. Sort of going in front of the vehicle, sort of evading it.
So what would you characterize as a jump?
Definition-wise, jumping is just jumping up and down, but colloquially, I guess we can say jumping over the hood of the car. It could be sort of evading the vehicle, going away from it.
That falls in with your definition of jumped over the hood with me. Would that be fair to say?
You can say.
You said you heard a scratch. What would you define that as? A loud crash?
It was a little bit longer than just kind of like a big crash and it ended. You can hear something scraping.
So like a scrape.
Yeah.
But not a loud like bang.
No, that was before on the parade.
Not necessarily, no.
I can still hear that.
Did anything get damaged in your driveway?
There was, I guess you can say, damage in however you may define it, like that log that we can see in the image was sort of dragged into our driveway. There was oil left in our driveway. There was debris left in our driveway as well.
That's
So it
damage.
was more like oil, logs, pieces
Now-
of wood. That
You guys have been telling me in the comments about this person. I don't know who this person is, but apparently he has to do with the case or something. I don't know. Like, I think there was something for president. I don't know who this guy is. But I don't think he has anything to do with the case. He's just adjacent. I don't know. Tell me in the comments who is this guy.
that sort of thing.
Yeah, things were out of place.
The logs that ended up in your yard, you stated that they came from your neighbor's yard. Would that be fair to say?
Correct.
Do you know what they used those logs for?
I mean, as you can see from the image, they're sort of put together by some metal band. So they're not really just there for use, but more they were just kind of put there for them to sit around.
So pretty much just if they're out there in the yard, they may use them to sit on.
Yeah.
Some of that nature.
Correct, yeah.
I'm sorry. Can you clear the exhibit?
Please.
I forgot it was.
It happens.
I forgot it was.
It's late.
I hate when he laughs. It's creepy.
So the photographs that you saw on the exhibits today, was this your first time seeing those photographs?
The photograph specifically, yes, but the vehicle and the whole scenery, no.
No, just the photographs. Was what you saw today? Was that your first time seeing those photographs?
These photographs?
Yes.
No.
So you've seen them before today?
Like I said, I was able to see sort of the what's it called? The whole situation, and I was able to sort of, be
photographs, my
aware
guy.
of what was going on.
I'm asking specifically about the exhibits, the photos. Had you seen those before today?
Before today, yes.
And do you recall who showed them to you?
It was mostly just detectives trying to figure out what was going on, sort of that line of questioning that I went through.
Would it be fair to say that you were subpoenaed to come and testify today?
Here we go. He's run out of questions.
I was subpoenaed to come testify.
Do you recall by whom?
By the what would you say? Just by this, not the state, but the city of Waukesha, or the town of Waukesha.
District Attorney's Office, officer?
Leading.
Or?
Objection. Leading.
Just when I received the subpoena letter, it was just from Waukesha.
The neighbor who's, as we saw in the photos in the exhibit, there was a neighbor whose car had scrapes. Do you recall if they filed any claim in regards to the scrapes?
In regards to the scrapes, no.
Do you recall having any conversations with the owner of the vehicle at some point? Maybe they may have wanted to ask if anyone heard what had transpired. Do you recall having any conversations with him?
Were they sweating? Transpired?
About what happened that night?
Objection. Hearsay.
Grounds.
Well, the way that he asked it is just, did they have conversations? I'll let the witness answer that specific question without disclosing the content first. Did you have any conversations?
After, it was the day after the incident that I talked to the neighbor.
After the law enforcement came to the scene, I'm sure that you had brief conversations with him. Did anyone from law enforcement ever contact you again after that point about additional information that maybe you missed that night?
The first times that I was sort of contacted by detectives was the day after, and what's it called? And I was contacted later on by sort of victim help, but we never really reached out.
You just said victim help. Can you explain what victim help is?
Well, I couldn't really specify what it is because I really never reached out, but we were reached out by I don't know if they were an organization or just help from the county for people that suffered from the parade, and we were also reached out because we were involved in the situation, just because our house was sort of in the whole mess, and
Right, with
we sort of
vehicle being found in your driveway.
we were sort of pretty shaken up about the situation too. So when we talked to detectives, we were all pretty shaken up. I was pretty shaken up, sort of scared, sort of frustrated too.
Why didn't you follow up with victim care if you had, a few concerns after the incident? What prompted you not to follow up with victim care?
So now he's asking why he... to the other people, he asked, do you have financial interest in this thing? Now he's asking why you don't have financial interest in this thing. What?
Objection.
Grounds.
Relevance.
On relevance grounds, I'll sustain the objection.
And are you aware who the plaintiff is in this matter?
Yes.
And who would the plaintiff be?
Plaintiff being sort of, or I guess you can say the defendant, Darrell Brooks.
The defendant would be the plaintiff?
Or not the defendant, but a plaintiff, or
He doesn't know.
I guess, what's it called? Could you kind of sort of
The plaintiff
elaborate?
would be
He's defining things.
who is actually bringing the claim.
Oh, the plaintiff bringing the claim?
Who's bringing the claim would be the plaintiff.
That would be this city of Waukesha. Sorry.
The city of Waukesha?
I'm confused by the questioning. If I'm going to be completely honest.
I am too.
Objective.
Move to strike the line of questioning for relevance.
Grounds
Well-
answered.
He answered it. May stand. Next question, please.
And you stated you saw people running from the downtown area or from the other way. I can't remember which one you said, but you said you
Pay
saw it was
attention.
kind of like people were kind of all over the place.
What are these
Not
motions?
necessarily all over the place, I would say. There was a cohesion as to the direction that people were leaving or heading towards.
Did any one of them mention what had happened at that time that you recall?
We
Grounds.
Hearsay.
Grounds.
It does call for hearsay. Do you want to ask him that?
Yeah, he's always
just wanna
asking
know
what
if he
other
talked
I
people
was
to
tell
them?
asking,
them.
did he, to his recollection, did any one of the people that was moving away from the area, did they say anything that he recalls?
Calls for hearsay. Do you want
Remember, he knows what hearsay means.
someone to sustain the objection?
You could sustain.
Okay.
From the moment you
He gave. He just gave her permission to substain.
arrived downstairs and saw the vehicle in your driveway until the moment that the police arrived, were you standing near the vehicle that whole time?
Objection. Relevancy.
Overruled.
not necessarily like right by the vehicle, but we were sort of in that general area, right by the balcony area.
When you say balcony, you're referring to the front balcony closest to Maple?
Leading.
That's kind of leading.
Oh, sustained as to the form of the question.
When you say balcony, what balcony are you referring to?
In another photograph, we were able to see some chairs in that porch area, and that's sort of kind of where everybody was hanging around. And as soon as the cops showed up, they told us to get back inside.
So you're talking about the backyard.
Objection. Leading.
Sustained as to the form of the question.
From the moment you got downstairs until the moment the first responders arrived, did you see anybody else walk up to the vehicle?
Objection.
Aside from your group. Just hold on a second, wait
There's
to
an
address
objection.
Speculation.
Overruled. He may answer.
Sorry. So on the vehicle. Sorry, can you repeat the question? I forgot about it. I'm sorry.
Aside from the people in your group, the people you knew, from the moment you got downstairs and saw the SUV in your driveway until the moment that the first responders arrived, did you see anybody else walk up to the vehicle?
Objection. Speculation.
It's not a
Overruled. He
speculation.
may
You already
answer.
said that.
No, nobody else approached the vehicle.
Can we zoom in on the house and exhibit number 66, please?
Objection. Relevancy.
It's previously been admitted.
Do you see the window that you were looking out of on the second floor in this picture?
Yes,
Can you circle it for us?
right about here.
Can we please preserve that annotation, mark it as 66A, and I'd move that into evidence?
Objection. What's the relevancy?
Your objections noted. 66A is received.
And I have nothing else. Thank you, Judge.
Any other electronic application or tool. Do not use a computer, cell phone, or other
Look at this. This is acting. This is just like, look, jury, I'm reading the Bible. My eyes are staring at just the paper, but I'm reading, I swear.
electronic device, including personal wearable electronics applications or tools with communication capabilities to share any
He's not
information
moving his
about
eyes.
intended to assure
mouse-
that jurors remain impartial
reads
to
like
decide
this.
the case solely on the evidence offered
he's just
and
staring
received
at the paper.
trial. With that, you are excused for the weekend. We will see you Monday morning at
Fake.
8:30. All rise. for
Really
the jury.
fake. No one believes it.
Good morning, Judge.
Oh, alrighty. Alright, that's gonna be the video for today. Thank you so much for watching. We finished day 7. We're gonna come back tomorrow with day 8 of this trial. And there's a lot of stuff coming, people. So subscribe if you want to see more. Give it a like if you made it this far. And I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Bye-bye.